If you have seen my videos before, and especially seen the last one that I made, I showed the dumbest mistake I had seen on a baseball field possibly ever. And I truly did not think it was going to even have a chance to be topped. And lo and behold, the very next game that the Seattle Mariners play with their season on the line in a massive moment, basically a must win to save the season game. Julio Rodriguez and honestly a little bit of Randy Rosarena topped it. They topped it. This is even dumber than the last one. And here is the situation. It's a 2-1 game. This is extra innings. Tying run is on third base with no outs. Julio Rodriguez. Essentially, he is the season saving run. The winning run is on first base. And I'm just going to play this clip. I'm going to let you guys watch it with sound. And then I am going to do a fairly long-winded breakdown on this one. And I just ask that you be patient with me. Let's play the clip. Let's get into the breakdown. Here you go. Where do I start? So you strike out, and Randy Rosarena, first of all, has since coming to the Mariners thrown the bat or accidentally let go of the bat more times than I've seen any other player do it in such a short period of time. This might be the 5th or 6th time he's just blatantly thrown the bat away. And I don't know if there's like, is the guy banned from Pine Tar or something? What is the problem here? Why isn't this guy able to hold on to the bat? You strike out, you throw the bat at the tying run on third base.
Look out, the bat.
Can we just can we just get the guy something sticky on his bat, please? But that's not what we're here to talk about, is it? Here's the other angle, and Randy throws the bat. It goes over. Julio dodges it, and for some reason is going to walk 1.5 miles off the bag towards the third base dugout, and he's going to get thrown out at third for the double play. The Mariners go on to lose. Justin Turner strikes out. This essentially ends the game. And here's the thing. I was actually going to come on here, and I was going to yell and cuss and lose my mind. And I slept on it last night, and I'm going to take a different approach. And instead of doing that, I'm going to tell you guys a very personal story of mine. And I promise you this is going to come full circle. And it's just my best way to try to say what I am trying to say without 100% saying it. There's something about the way Julio plays the game sometimes that I have avoided talking about because I don't want it to get taken the wrong way. Just bear with me. It's going to come full circle as best I can, I promise. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I'm sure anyone that played baseball growing up, it was a part of your life, has a story that's probably somewhat similar to this. 9 or 10 years old, it's the first year of baseball that it actually is a baseball game. It's not T-ball. It's not slow pitch. The kids actually get to pitch to each other. It's an actual baseball game. It's only like 5 innings. And I am excited and I really want to do well. And I wanted to pitch. Just about every other kid on the team wants to pitch. So we all take turns, right? This kid gets the first inning, you get the second inning, you get the third inning, and I got the 5th. My very first time I got to pitch in a baseball game, which, side note, I was never a pitcher when I played. But as a kid, it fascinated me and I wanted to. So the 5th inning, I get to pitch. And as you all know at that age, baseball it's chaos. There's varying levels of understanding of the game between the kids. Some kids really want to do well and play well. Some kids are just there for the atmosphere and to try it out and have fun. It's just a good time. It's funny to watch. It's the best. But I'm really nervous. I come into the 5th inning, 9 or 10 years old, nervous, and I can't throw strikes. I'm like up there aiming the ball, trying to lob it in, and I'm just struggling and I'm all nervous because I really want to do well. So I walk the bases loaded and I'm like, dang, I really hope I can get a kid out here. Next kid comes up to bat, bases loaded. I just lob a pitch in there and the kid actually makes contact. And it's a pop fly out to the right fielder on our team. And I'm thinking I'm maybe going to get to have a chance to get an out here. And I turn around and the kid in right field with the ball flying towards him is turned around and he's actually way out in the outfield, running the opposite direction, not paying attention to the game. And there's no fence or anything. It's just an open field with a baseball field on it, right? There's no fences. It's just old school, just piece of dirt on some grass. And he's way out there, not even paying attention to the game. And apparently, before the pitch came, a butterfly flew around and he wanted to try and catch it. So he turned around and he started chasing the butterfly. As you can imagine, the ball lands out in the outfield. Kid doesn't notice it until basically it hits the grass, and it's a home run. The kids all run the bases. It's a great time. They're all happy on the other team, and I'm pissed. I'm a kid, but like I'm pissed off. Like I wanted to do well, and it was just sad. But in that moment, I feel like I learned a lesson that kind of applies all the way up until any level of baseball you see. Not everybody plays the game of baseball or looks at it or enjoys it the same way you do. There's some people that are really methodical and they have to take it really serious. It's almost like a job, and they listen to like hardcore music and they get all intense before they play. And that's just how they play better. That's how they play the game. That's how they have to do it. And then there's other guys that play loose and they play free and they have fun and they focus on the enjoyment of the game. And that's how they play better. And that's how they can play at their best level of baseball. And to me, that's Julio. When I watch Julio play, Julio is the kid that was out there chasing butterflies, or the stories where people talk about a kid picking dandelions or daisies out in the outfield, not paying attention, right? That's I get those vibes from Julio. And I'm not saying this in a sense that I think Julio doesn't care. What I am just saying is that there is a very fine line at the professional level, I would think, between playing loose in free baseball and having fun and enjoying your moment, and playing well because you play like a kid, right? You play like a kid and you have fun. But there's a fine line between that and being careless. And again, not careless like Julio does not care about winning and playing well. I mean careless in a sense that you get so focused on the fun and the entertainment of it, and just the show, the bedazzled cleats, the flashy belts. So you got fireworks on the arm sleeves. You got the J-Rod squad out in center field. You're having a good time. It's a show. You're an entertainer. You're paid. You're rich. You're young. You're having a good time playing the game at the highest level because you have fun playing it like a kid. And that is all perfectly fine until it's not. Julio, in this moment, and I'll rewind it right here for you, I felt like, and this is just my opinion, this is my take, I don't think everyone's going to agree with me, this is chasing butterflies. Julio Rodriguez is so in the moment and so about the entertainment factor. He dodges the bat and he's just kind of giggling, going over to the third base side, looking at the crowd. And he's just not aware that this is a big moment, dude. This is probably the biggest moment of the season up to this point. And you are playing so loose and so free that it turns into carelessness. He's so into the show of the game and the entertainment that in a moment this big, you can think, hey, I just dodged a bat. That was kind of crazy that I haven't had to do that before. Maybe I'm running over and I'm just kind of slow trotting over to the third base side, and it's a big show and entertainment. And next thing you know, your third base coach is screaming at you, hands wide out, like, what in God's name are you doing? You are in La La Land. And you make a dumb play and you get thrown out at third to essentially end your playoff hopes. And I think Julio needs to work on this. This moment right here, I think, is an all-encompassing, just perfect example of how careless he seems to play sometimes. Some examples of this and things that have bothered me in the past that I have not talked about because I get how some people might look at it. When the team's losing, right? And especially when the team is losing and you're the star player and you're struggling. You're 0 for 3 at the plate with 2 Ks and a fly ball to the shortstop. The team's down 4-1 or 5-1, and you hit like a tinker grounder back to the pitcher, and you're like, you get thrown out at first base and you're just kind of giggling about it. And you know, you're dapping it up with the other team on the base paths if you get walked and the team's losing and you're not playing particularly well, but you're just having a good time and you're having fun, and that's okay. There is a level though, and there is a point where you have to look at it like a job. You have to sometimes. And it's okay if it's only 5% of the time or 10% of the time. 90% of the time, I got no problem with any of Julio's antics and the way he plays baseball. It's just all of that is okay until it's not. And I just hope that this is a big learning moment for Julio in how some situations it does not call for that, childlike behavior when it comes to just playing free with the game, because it's not always just a game. You're going to get exploited for bad mistakes that you make, and if you play kid like all the time, you're apt to make a kid like mistake. And I really hope that I was able to bring that full circle. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe this is like really dumb and nobody cares. And maybe people think that I'm out of line. I mean, obviously, I never played professional baseball, and I recognize that there are people that play better when they're playing free like a kid. That's just how some people have to play the game. And that is awesome. I enjoy watching Julio have fun on the field, and he has every right to wear whatever he wants, talk to whoever he wants on the field, and have a good time. But just remember, in moments where millions of dollars are on the line and millions of people are watching, and everyone in the organization is counting on you to be mentally in the moment, you just have to be. You have to be that. You have to, regardless of what you need to be to get to that spot. At some point, you got to be responsible. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. I didn't want to come up here and scream and yell and cuss and lose my goddamn mind like I was going to last night if I recorded, because I don't think that gets my message across the same way that hopefully this would. Okay. Comment and tell me what you guys think, but we all know it's a dumb play. It's just a dumb play. And if you watch to this point, thank you. I really appreciate it. And it also means that you're probably a true sicko about the game of baseball, just like I am. And if you're interested in more sports content and baseball content and more Seahawks content coming up as well, please consider subscribing so you don't miss those when they come up. It helps me a ton. And I appreciate every single person that watches, likes, comments, subscribes. You guys are all the best. Let's see what happens.